After reaching Essence Mastery Level 1, players will unlock the new Transmogrification feature, allowing them to change the appearance of their gear with that of specific legendary items. Rejoice, everybody, we're finally getting Transmog to the game, and I'm sure there's some people that are far more excited about that than I am. Very glad to see that. These are the patch notes for the Blood Knight release, and there's more than just Blood Knight specific stuff in this update, so let's go ahead and take a look at these from the start here. First, we have the Crimson Plane limited time event. We've been told that this is going to function very similar to the Fractured Plane, except you'll be forced to play on a Blood Knight, which is fine, and this is going to be a great way to actually go in, try new essences. You will be forced and locked into just the specific skills that are assigned. You won't be able to change them, but you'll be able to go through and acquire a ton of essences really quick. I should reword that. You won't be able to acquire essences, but you'll get legendary items inside of the Crimson Plane that you can equip and try out essences. There'll be 15 floors with a number of rooms. After you clear every room, you have the ability to open a chest, and that chest contains 2 options of gear and some coins. The coins can also be traded for purchasing gear on the next floor, so there'll be a ton of ways to just get access to different essences, see what you like, see if you enjoy it, perhaps even if you like the class at all. There's also some rewards for participating in the event, some various rewards. Sometimes additional rewards and objectives unlock when you complete the Fractured Plane, so keep an eye out for those as well in regards to the Crimson Plane. Another thing that I want to show here for this event is right here. If you complete all 7 tasks, you'll actually get a cosmetic. So this is a free cosmetic provided you complete them. And there's a lot more where this comes from. A new elite quest, Vowed in Blood. This is essentially a lore aspect. You'll go through and get one of these side quests. In the past, these have had a varying amount of time that they require, but in general, they've been pretty nice. So there's been some that people feel were perhaps too long, but there's no time limit on these, right? You get the quest and you have forever to do it. So you can chip away at these as you like and just kind of follow along with the lore. Dread Pilgrimage. This event has been out for some time, but it's a reminder here to complete it. One thing that caught my eye about this is that this says July 17th, and actually in game it says July 13th. So I don't know which one is correct at this point, but it doesn't much matter because in the Dread Pilgrimage, these panes unlock on a certain date. And once they unlock, you can then take your time to complete them before the event expires. So there's no rush. So it doesn't matter when it unlocks. Just make sure that you do it when it's available. And I like that because we've had some events in the past that you were forced to do on a specific day. So this has really been nice in my opinion. Completing all of these different panes or the objectives there yield some really good rewards. A 1-star legendary gem, a 2-star legendary gem, a copy of the new Spiteful Blood 5-star legendary gem, a portal cosmetic, a weapon cosmetic for all classes, and an armor cosmetic for all classes. This is enormous, okay? And I love to see this, that they're not just giving all the attention to Blood Knight. There are some individuals who don't have any interest in Blood Knight. So it's nice to see that they're going to get something as well that they can use on whatever class that they enjoy the most. And here you can see a preview of these cosmetics. I actually kind of think that the Necro one in the back is pretty cool. I wish that one had been a little more in the forefront, personally. But regardless, I think they all look pretty neat. There's also going to be the Children of Inarius cosmetic set, and this is obviously a much more angelic looking one. So there's a whole bunch of cosmetics going on here. This one is available for 1,000 orbs in the shop. Returning events, Fire Before Darkness, and we've seen this before, but if you haven't, essentially there'll be some tasks as you log in. You'll get tasks that you can complete. They're all pretty simple. You just log in, check what the tasks are, and just go through them as you can, and you get some additional rewards for doing this. The Telluric Pearl and the Legendary Crest being the best of these rewards. All clans on deck. This is certainly not the first time we've seen this event. A very well-liked event. Participate with your clan, join a clan, participate, do things in game with your clan, and you'll basically go through, kill a whole bunch of monsters, get some additional rewards, and the rewards are tiered for how much your clan has done in terms of participating in this event. Feature update, class change. Now this is a big one, especially with the release of a new class. To celebrate the release of our 7th class from July 13th, the cooldown to change from one class to another will be reduced from 7 days to 24 hours. You will have the ability to revert to your previous class after each change with no cooldown as well. What this means is you can change 1 time per day to any class you want. 1 time per day. If you do not like that class, you can revert to the class that you previously were. After 24 hours, you can then change again, and you may then use another revert if you choose. So this is a 24-hour cooldown. We have made additional permanent tweaks to the class change feature. The primary attribute, strength or intellect, of equipped normal, magic, rare, and set items will now convert towards the primary attribute of your new class. For each legendary item equipped, you will receive legendary items with the exact same attributes. The primary attributes of the items will be adjusted for the class you're changing to. Previously equipped legendary items from your prior class will be moved to your inventory. As a result, you'll receive legendary items the first time you change to a brand new class. I want to make sure that everybody pays attention to the wording here. The primary attribute of equipped normal, magic, rare, and set items will now convert towards the primary attribute of your new class. So if you have items in your inventory, they're not going to convert. You need to have the items you want to use equipped. I hope that that is clear for everybody. You will still need to do some farming. This is not just a blanket change where everything in your stash is going to go from strength over to int. Okay, so make sure that you understand that and make sure that you have the proper gear equipped before you do so. In addition to that, demonic remains will be converted to the class you've changed and retain their stats. The second time you change a class, a set of transfer legendary items will be granted to you. These items cannot be salvaged from materials or extracted for their essence. Any empty slots upon transferring will be filled with transfer legendary items. Paragon point allocations will no longer reset after each time you change classes. This is really just an update or a revamp to the class change mechanic, and this makes sense to me, okay? The class change has been out for a while, the game's been out for a while, and it makes sense to kind of update this in the beginning or the launch of any game, not just this game. Players are a lot more active, and at this point there are a lot of players just looking to maintain, keep up with dailies, and it's not as easy for them to kind of log in, farm all the set items, prepare themselves for a class change from one main stat to another. So I'm personally really happy to see this. Here we have the Transmog feature. Super excited about this. I'm not a huge cosmetic person, but I do like the Transmog feature because it's just customizable, right? You get to kind of build your own. There's certain things that you've liked. I often just kind of like messing around with these, seeing what you can come up with. And this is actually more exciting to me than some of the cosmetics personally. And I think there's a lot of people that really love this as well. When a player extracts essence from marked legendary items at the essence transfer vendor, the appearance of that item will be added to the Transmog collection. This is a location where players can view each Transmog they've unlocked and can be applied to any items in the corresponding slot. The equipment slot will display the chosen Transmog's appearance until it's removed via the Transmogrification collection. Note that players cannot wear both cosmetics and Transmogs for the same slot. You can, for example, wear a weapon cosmetic with Transmogs for your armor slots, though. This content update enables 126 existing legendaries to be transmogable. So we're getting basically everything that you've already unlocked for essences will be added to this collection. Battleground update. A wall has been added for defenders in Phase 2 of Battleground to amend an issue where attackers would get boxed in and killed immediately after the spawn location shifted. When the spawn location shifts, defenders will only be allowed to leave the previous spawn location and cannot re-enter. So what they're saying is you cannot camp that spawn point. If a defender is there, they will remain there until they're killed or exited of their own accord, but will not be able to go back in. You will still be able to use the other choke points going down the first staircase and then the two staircases leading to the idols. However, you will not be able to stay directly on that spawn, just throwing AoE and CC and so forth. A destroy button has been added for charms of ranks 2 through 5. This has actually been a request by several people, at least to me, so nice to see that that's getting some attention. There was no way to get rid of these if you did not want to put them on the market, and in some markets they just don't sell, especially now after some of the recent changes. They're very little value and so forth. Accursed Towers. Players no longer need to sign up to contest each individual tower. Clan leaders can now select which of the clan members will contest a particular tower. This is a nice change. Unfortunately, there isn't as much conflict in the Accursed Towers, but it is nice that that's being added. If a match begins without enough players from your clan, you can jump into the match and fill an available slot. Players can only join one PvP match per day using this method. Another nice change. There's often, what we do in our clan is try to confirm everybody that's going to be there, make sure everyone's going to go. And then inevitably, there's situations where one person can't make it or DCs, whatever the case may be. So it's nice to see that there's a way for anybody to just kind of fill in and participate in the match. Players can now see if members of their clan have joined a PvE or PvP match in the enrollment menu. So this will tell you who has entered the match. We've also run into the issue of saying, all right, who's not in yet? Who's not in? Who can we swap? So just some kind of quality of life changes there. Blood Knight cosmetics, I've had a lot of questions about these and I haven't known the answer. So it's nice to see that this has been documented in the notes here. With the introduction of the Blood Knight class, we have created a Blood Knight version of the below cosmetics. Going forward, any cosmetic that releases will also include a version for the Blood Knight. So here's a number of cosmetics that'll be available if you choose to get one of these to put on your new Blood Knight class. So a whole bunch of things here, including some beta credit to external orbs conversion. Honestly, I don't know much about that at all, so obviously must be an issue if they're doing a credit, but nice to see that that's happening as well. Anyways, ton of stuff going in here. Honestly, I think all of it's great. I think this is going to be an enormous update, bring a lot of players back. I'm excited, but not excited at the same time for the vast number of Blood Knights we'll see. But I think in time it'll settle down and we'll kind of get back to the normal class variance between the number of, say, Barbs, Blood Knights, etc. So it should be fun stuff. As always, thanks for taking the time to watch and have a great day.